Today marks 1200. First day sharing lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and will empower you to become the person that you want to become. Yesterday I was reading a Bible, Exodus, and I was reading about the Moses story. And I think that everyone have heard about the Moses story and how it works and about deliverance and about faith and believing, all those things. But I think that sometimes we're missing the other side of the story. I was thinking about Pharaoh and what lessons we could learn from the Pharaoh. Because I think that a lot of times we act as Pharaoh in that story. Because Moses tried to convince to release Israel one time, second time, third time. And every single time when Moses used to come back to Pharaoh, he used to come back with worse and worse and worse trouble to Pharaoh and Egyptians. I think that that's exactly what we do as well. Sometimes we know that we need to let something go. We need to let something go, and we do not do that. And we act like pharaohs. We wait until something will turn so bad until we let go. So today we really want to really, really deep a little bit more down. Why is that? Why we are like pharaohs? Why we are not able to let things go much, much more easy, and we can really save so many things in our lives because of that. So number one is a pride. So pride. It might be that we don't want to let something go because we don't want to be vulnerable. We want to have that control of something because sometimes we do not have control and being able to like, because there are some things in life that we have control over and some things that you do not have control over. And I remember saying that, please give me the wisdom understanding which one is which one. Because the things that we have control, we need to take action. For the things that we do not have control, we need to let it go a lot of times. Because if we think that we supposed to have control, but we don't have control, we and then lean into that and holding that, we're not able to really move forward in life. Second thing is that the fear of unknown. Now that means that's something that you really keep in your life. Maybe it's halfly beneficial for you, and we're like, what will give up this? What will happen? And that fear of unknown is holding us back to actually letting go of like bad habits, bad people, maybe not bad people, maybe dynamics or maybe the vision that where they're going is not the same as yours. And they are useful in some sense. But and because of that, you don't want to let them go. And you fear of unknown. What will happen when they will not get that benefit that we're getting from having that relation? And I think that sometimes we need to say that again. It doesn't matter what will happen in the future. What matters is that it will be better than today. Not maybe right away, but will take some time, but we will be able to adjust because in the long run, it will hurt more. Because sometimes people who are useful at the same time they are not helpful in the long run. Because people who are useful for right now, they are sabotaging you to move towards that bigger future. Number three is temporary leaves leads to false promises. Temporary leads lead to false promises. And this again could be a lot of times into relationship. Could be business relationship, could be love relationship. It might be that a person hurt you. And now you explain how it made you feel and everything between, and now the other person changes for one day and is temporarily. And we keep that person in our lives because we had a temporal that relief. That's how like Pharaoh was in the story as well. Like Moses used to bring some terrible things, and then Pharaoh, yeah, like I will release the Israelites, and then Moses used to remove that adversity of Pharaoh's life, and then Pharaoh said, "No, I don't release the Israelites." I think that that's what we need to be careful as well. Those temporary leaves, we're not supposed to make our decision. We're supposed to say like, what is the permanent thing? Because we're supposed to make a decision based on 99% of information, not on 1% information. And that's what we do. We sometimes, okay, like, I feel terrible having that habit, that person in my life, but I have once in a while relief. And I hope that this temporary relief will become permanent. But barely happens. That's barely happens. And being able to let it go is very, very important. And you need to understand that those temporary leads is holding us back from making sometimes permanent decision. Number four is that's gradual consequences, gradual escalation of consequences. It might be that you have a bad habit and something goes wrong, you get sick, and then you stop taking out those bad habits, and then you start at those bad habits again, and then you have more sick, and then you really temporarily, and at some point you are so sick that you're not able to go back, and then or you need to change your life completely. That could be regarding health, and now it could be and regarding the relations, toxic relationship. It might be that you are having a relationship and it really hurts your emotional state, mental state. It might be that you are disappointed, then you sad, then you become depressed. It could potentially could lead to worse and worse level of in your life. That escalation of the difficulty that you need to go through to come back to proper way of living. I think that you need to be very, very careful and see like, okay, how this is progressing. If you start seeing the signs of escalation, if the problem, what do you need to do? You need to quit that, change that habit, change that toxic relation dynamic. Find something that really is hurting, that's escalating, and change that. I think that's very, very important. Because why are we supposed to wait until it gets so bad that there is no way out? Like we reach the bottom. Now, do we say that it's easy? No. Simple? Yes, not easy. Because I think that a lot of times we realize, and after a while, when our mind catches up, I knew it from the get-go that this is not the right path, but I was waiting until something will turn very bad until I make that final decision. So how do you break this? How do you break this? I think that the number one is recognize the pattern early. So this is the first step, recognizing that there's a pattern. There's a pattern of this escalation. This is a pattern of temporary relief. And when I understand that, then I'm able to like, because what you're not aware, you're not able to change. That's the first. So it means when you start to be aware, at that moment you're able to feel, okay, this is my pattern. So I need to stop that. At that moment when you know the pattern, sometimes it is the courage because there will be fear of unknown. So it means we need to develop the courage to take action, even though when we know that. Like some people are aware that alcohol is not good for you. People are aware that smoking is not good for you. People are aware that toxic relation is not good for you. But they stay stuck in that habit and they stay stuck in a relation because there is lack of self-worth, maybe lack of courage. That's what we need to do. We need to really make that firm decision to develop ourselves to a person who makes those kind of decisions. We need to change identity. We need to change those behaviors. We need to change ourselves to make that decision. Because identity changing is one of the best things because you make decisions based on who you see yourself in the mirror. So when you change the way how you see yourself and you change the self-worth and you know that you're enough, you deserve better things. You deserve better health. You deserve better relationships. If you feel that you deserve better health, what you will do, you will exercise, you will quit bad habits because you know that you deserve better health. Because if you don't feel that you deserve better health, what do? You'll be like, how bad habit is it that is sabotaging your health and you don't exercise. So we need to start to see yourself as a person who exercises, who is healthy, and make that firm decision to become that person. Number three is trust the process. I think that trust the process because sometimes even the Israelites who really needed to move out of Egypt, they didn't trust the process a lot. They used to complain a lot. And we need to trust the process. Like Pharaohs need to trust the process. We need to trust the process. That means when we make a decision, we need to follow it through. Because sometimes we make decisions and then relief comes in and then we change the decision. That means we need to trust the process that when I made a decision, that was the right decision. Now, of course, there is some wiggle room because you're not supposed to make permanent decisions in temporarily. Um, Again, this is a don't make permanent decisions in temporal feelings, and as again, this is shows again. when we have that temporal relief, we're not supposed to make permanent decision based on that. We're supposed to make decision based on what's actually going on. And that's very, very important. And we trust the process, not go back and back or back and forth, back and forth. And then the last one, number four, I want to mention is like seek help and accountability. I think that sometimes when we didn't want to make a decision and we didn't know that it's the right choice, we need to say that I'm making this decision. Do you believe that this is the right decision? And then finding people who could really be credible to help you to address that. Because I think that we need to be very careful who we choose to ask advice from. Because if they don't have a vision that you have, it might be that their advice will be totally different and not really aligned with where you want to go. So when you think about really what kind of questions is supposed to ask ourselves, and this is the couple of questions I will give that what I'm holding on to that I keep promising of me to let go. I think it's very, very often we holding on something that we promised ourselves to let go. Second question that I want to ask is, am I waiting for things to get worse before I finally take action? It's a massive question. And the last question that I want to ask is, what's one small step I can take today towards real freedom? Those are really great questions because I think that reflection of those questions will allow you to understand, do you have something that you hold on to this right now and what you need to do to really start moving towards better tomorrow. So I hope it's you doing and see you tomorrow.